welcome to our session. And in our previous session, we have discussed about the movements in animals. In this session, we discuss about the movement in human being. All living things which live on the earth, they all show movement from they go from one place to another place. That means the all living organisms which live on earth, they all doing movements. So in our previous session, we have discussed about the movements in animals. Different animals doing different methods for move themselves from one place to another place. Now movements in human being, that means we all, how we move from one place to another place. About this we discuss about this in our movements in human being. Human beings also move from one place to another place like animals. In human beings, two systems take part in the movement of different body parts. These two systems are the skeletal system and the muscular system. Which two systems are used in human beings? They use two different systems. And the systems are the skeletal system and the muscular system. In these systems, they used different body parts. You have also figure on in your textbooks. You can see here the figure is available: skull, lower jaw, shoulder, ribs, etc. Limbs, also other body parts. In skeletal system, you can see these all body parts help the human being to move from one place to another place. The skeletal system, besides helping in movement, the skeletal system performs the different functions also. They help the human being from go from one place to another place. Besides this process also, they have done different functions also in our body, and the functions are: it provides shape to the body. First, it provides shape to our body. It provides a framework which supports the body and keeps it upright. Always, skeletal system provides shape and support to our body. Without a skeletal system, we cannot stand straight. We cannot walk. We can't do any kind of work. Because if we want to do any kind of work, then we use the different body parts from our body, and these all body parts is parts of the skeletal system. It protects the soft internal organs like the heart, stomach, and liver also. Blood cells are made in the soft substance present in the bones which form the skeleton. The skeletal system in figure 10.9, they have given us the skeletal system. In this function, we can see many functions, many body parts are available in our body which help us to, in many ways, it provides safe and frame of our body. It protects the soft internal organs. Which type of internal organs? Like the heart, stomach, and liver. Blood cells are made in the soft substance, bone marrow present in the bones which form the skeleton. Now we will discuss about the more thing. About the skeletal system. In the skeletal system consists of bones and cartilages. It consists of bone and cartilages, while the her structure and the cartilages are soft and elastic, can be easily bent. We have heard also we have cartilages soft. Cartilages are soft body parts in our body, can easily be located the ear lobe and nose. In figure 10.10, cartilage in the upper part of ear, you can see here the framework of the body formed by the bones and cartilages is called the skeleton. Then activity 10.6, they tell us this to study the human skeleton. In this activity, they have given us some information about to study the human skeleton. Request your teacher to take you to the biology laboratory, but at our present time it is not possible. If you are present here, at now, at this time, then it is possible, but you are at home and I am here in school, so it is not possible to us for doing any type of activity in laboratory. So this activity for only you to read. Try to read this activity at your home, because we cannot able to do this activity in our lab. But in this activity, they examine the skeleton for the different kinds of bones in terms of their shape and size, small, long, and curved, etc. Also see the backbone. Make a drawing of the skeleton in your notebook. That means they have told us to go at the laboratory and try to understand about the skeletal system. And after understanding about this process about the skeletal system, to draw this skeletal system in your notebook. But at this time, it is possible for you, if you want to understand about the skeletal system, so try to find out some information on the Google. If you want to learn about the skeletal system more in this way, then write your any type of question in the Google, which help you a lot up, and you can know more things about the skeletal system. Parts of human skeletal system. The human skeleton consists of the bones of the following four body parts, which skull, backbone or spine. Then also ribs, limbs. Skull first, then second backbone or spine, third ribs, and then limbs. Limbs, that means hands and legs, which are very useful for us. If we want to do any kind of work, then hands always help us. And if we want to go from one place to another place, then without legs, that is not possible. Skull. The skull is made up of 22 bones. How many bones? 22 bones. All the bones in the skull are fixed and joined except the lower jaw. Lower jaw. The lower jaw can be moved and it allows us to chew and to talk. Always lower jaw help us to eat anything, any kind of food which we want to eat. Lower jaw always help us and also help to talk. Bones of the skull protect the brain from injury. Always this type of jaw always protect our brain from any type of injury. Then also backbone or spine. It is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae. The ribcage is joined to these bones. The backbone protects the spinal cord. Backbone runs along our back starting from the neck. It can be easily located in our body. As a hard body structure, if we run our hand along the center of our back, that means skull and backbone or spine. These type of bones are also very useful to us. First, the bones of the skull always protect our brain. Then backbone or spine also doing many jobs in our body. Then you can see here the ribs. Ribs are thin, flat and curved bones that form a protective cage around the organs. Which type of organs? Like the heart and the lungs. Ribs always create a form a protective cage around this type of organs. You can see also the figure, the vertebral column here given 10.12, the figure of vertebral column. There are 12 ribs consist of 24 bones arranged in 12 pairs. How many pairs? 12 pairs. The ribs are joined to the backbone at the back. At your back side, you can see the ribs are joined to the backbone at the back. You can also feel this on or your body. The ribs can be felt if we run our fingers across our chest. As I said to you, we can also feel this. Then limbs. Humans have two pairs of limbs. One pair of forelimbs or upper limbs, arms, and other pair of hind limbs or lower limbs called the legs. In figure 10.14, we have here in figure 10.13 and 14 the figure of upper limb and the lower limb. Hip bone. In lower limb you can see hip bone, femur. They have a function which doing many processes using different body parts, different ways, using different functions which we do, which we use them in our many ways for doing many works. Always limbs, human have two pairs of limbs. How many? Two, which they are first the hand and the legs. In figure shows the bones present in the two limbs. Bones of the hand also we can see in the figure the rib cage. We can also see here the rib cage in figure 10.13, the figure of rib cage. Then joints and movements. The place where two or more bones are joined. The place where two or more bones are joined together are called the joints. The bones are held together at the joints by strong structures called ligaments. Ligaments. What is the meaning of ligaments? Ligaments. The bones are held together at the joints by strong structures called the ligaments. Then also the types of joints. There are three main types of joints. In our body we have many types of joints. How many? Three types of immovable joints or fixed joints. Immovable joints, we have also one type of joints. We cannot move these parts. They are called immovable joints or fixed joints. Fixed joint, that means they have fixed at a one place. They cannot move. Slightly movable or cartilaginous joints. Slightly movable, freely movable. Then our third type is freely movable or perfect joint. So we have total three types of joints in our body: immovable, slightly movable and freely movable. Immovable joints, these joints do not allow any movement. That means they cannot move any of our body part. They do not allow us to move our parts. For example, the joints between the bones of the skull. In the bones of the skull, we can see these type of joints. Joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head. Then joints in the tooth sockets. These types of joints are immovable joints which do not allow us to move our parts. Then slightly movable joints. These joints allow very little movement. That means they are called the slightly movable because they are not freely move our parts. They allow little movement, so they are called the slightly movable. For examples, joints between vertebrae and the backbone. In our backbone, we can see this type of joints. Joints between the ribs. In ribs, we can also see this type of joints, and also in our breastbone. In our breastbone, also this type of joints which are slightly movable, not freely movable. Okay, so immovable joints and slightly movable joints. Immovable joints, that means they are fixed. They are fixed at one place. They do not allow us to move our body parts. This type of joints are called immovable joints. And the slightly movable joints, that means they allow us to little movement. Now about the freely movable. Immovable joints. These joints allow, immovable, not freely movable joints. These joints allow free movement or bones in our directions. They allow us to freely movements of our body. Examples: joints in the elbow with the help of our hand we can do many kinds of work, because the joints of the hand are freely movable, so we can move our hand all directions in which we want. Joints in the knee, joints in the shoulder, and joints in the neck, these all types of joints are called the movable, freely movable. Then in our figures also they have given examples. First, immovable joints. As we have discussed about the immovable joints in our skull, a joint in the bone. There are four major types of freely movable joints. In freely movable joints, we have total four types of freely movable joints: ball and socket joint, then pivot joint, hinge joint, guiding joint. We have total four types of joints, different four types of joints available in freely movable joints. Then also you can see here in figure 10.17 freely movable joint. In like these body parts we have freely movable joints which allow us to move our body parts. Now in the ball and socket joint, in this joint the ball like end of one bone fits into a cup like cavity, socket of the other bone. These allow movement in all directions because they are joined like a cup like cavity to each other, so they allow us to move in all directions. In 10.18 you can see that ball and socket joint, how they connect to each other. Example, joint at the hip, joint in the shoulder. This type of joint very movable in all directions. And then pivot joint allow rotation only. They allow us rotation only. In this joint, the rounded surface of one bone fits into a ring formed by the other bones, so that one bone is able to rotate over the other in a ring. In figure 10.19 you can see here pivot joint. They they have rounded surface of one bone fits into a ring formed by the other bones, so they only allow us to rotation only. Example, joint between the neck and the head. Neck and the head. With the help of the neck and the head, we can see here and there, because they connect to each other in a ring arrangement. They allow us to rotation. Then hinge joint. This joint allow movement in one direction only. For example, elbow joint between the upper and the lower arm. Knee joint between the thigh and lower leg. Between them we have this type of joint. In figure 10.20 you can also see here the hinge joint, wrist joint between the forearm and the wrist. These type of joints. Then D-type gliding joint. This joint allows bones to glide over each other so that side to side as well as backward and forward movement can take place. Because they have gliding joint, they allow us to movement forward and backward both sides. Only slight movement takes place in this joint. In figure 10.20 you can see here the gliding joint. Example, joints between the bones of the ankle. These type of joints we can see in our ankle. Then we have here activity 10.7, body parts, no movement, rotates, turns partially, rotates completely, bends movement. You can fill up this activity using this information which have given in our textbooks. Try to read this activity and try to read all topics. After watching this session, try to read all information from your textbooks which help you to fill up this activity. Then the muscular system. Have you seen people using weights while exercising? They use weights to develop their muscles. If they want to develop their muscles, they carry heavy weights. Muscles are attached to the bones. All muscles are attached to our bones. This makes it possible for the bones to move at the joints. The muscular system consists of muscles. These help in movement of our body. Muscles have the property of contraction and relaxation. It is this property of muscles which is responsible for the movement of bones. It is responsible for the movements of the bone. When muscles make themselves shorter, they pull on the bones and move them. Muscles cannot make themselves longer again on their own. They need another muscles closely to stretch them. This second muscle does this by shortening itself. The second muscle which stretches the first muscles called the biceps is called the triceps. The muscles cannot do by them own selves. They use the different types of muscles in 10.20 muscular system in human. They have given the diagram for the muscular systems in the human. If you raise your hand, you can feel the biceps getting shorter and harder. If you raise your hand, you feel your biceps getting shorter and harder. The triceps becomes longer and softer. When you lower your hand, your triceps become shorter and wider. When you raise your hand and when you put your hand downside, you feel your muscles affect differently in their way. When you lower your hand, your triceps become shorter and harder and the biceps become longer and softer. Thus, muscles work in pairs to bring about movement of a bone. Human being doing different exercise, they develop their muscles. For developing their muscles, they carry heavy weights. Then also in figure 10.23, muscles in human arms. You can see here biceps and triceps. Here they given with arrow, biceps and triceps, shoulder blade. Then also in figure A and B, muscles when the bending of arm take place, biceps contracts, shortens, triceps relaxes. Then also in B, muscles when the arms is straightened, biceps relaxes and the elbow is a hip joint, triceps contracts. As we doing different muscles exercise, our muscles will get different effect of them. Okay students, so our chapter number 10 is completed here. In this chapter, we have discussed about the movements of animals and also movements in human being. All organisms which live on earth, they all do a movement. They all go from one place to another place, but only they use different method from going from one place to another place, for going from one place to another place. Okay, now we will meet in our next chapter.